The first light of dawn stretched across the horizon, brushing the peaks of distant mountains with a gentle golden hue. A subtle breeze whispered through the leaves, carrying with it the quiet murmur of awakening life. Somewhere, a lone bird called, its voice soft yet insistent, signaling the beginning of a day untouched, unclaimed, and full of possibility. Inside a small wooden dwelling, a cup of tea sat on the table, steam curling lazily into the cool morning air. The room was quiet, suspended in the space between night and day. Light spilled through a narrow window, painting the walls with warmth and shadow in equal measure. Every detail, from the worn floorboards to the soft dust dancing in the sunlight, held significance when observed with intention. "Today," whispered the mind, almost imperceptibly, "you will listen. The calm before the sunrise is sacred. It is a time when the world pauses, inviting those who are present to awaken not just in body, but in spirit. Each breath taken here is a meditation, each heartbeat a subtle reminder of life's continuity." Sensory immersion outside, the forest stirred. Leaves rustled as if sharing secrets with the wind. The river flowed steadily, carrying reflections of the early light. The air was cool yet alive, each inhalation filled with the scent of damp earth, pine, and the subtle sweetness of wildflowers beginning to bloom. In these quiet moments, the world revealed itself fully to those willing to notice. Inside, the observer rose slowly, stretching arms toward the light. Fingers grazed the wooden frame of the window, grounding in the tactile reality of the moment. A deep breath drew in the serenity of dawn, a deliberate exhale released remnants of dreams, tension, and the restless energy of yesterday. The sun crept higher, casting long shadows across the room, shadows that moved and shifted as if alive, teaching the observer the gentle art of change. Light, silence, and stillness became a triad of instruction, a subtle lesson in mindfulness before words or thoughts intruded. Connection to nature stepping outside, feet touched the dew-soaked grass. Fingers brushed against leaves, the texture cool and vibrant. The wind carried faint sounds of distant life, the rustle of a squirrel searching for morning sustenance, the soft babble of a brook negotiating the contours of earth and stone. Every sound was deliberate, each movement a teacher in the art of presence. Birds lifted into the sky, gliding effortlessly in perfect balance, embodying harmony between will and surrender. The observer inhaled deeply, feeling the morning enter the lungs, feel the rhythm of the earth synchronizing with the beat of the heart. Every moment was alive, yet calm, a quiet symphony orchestrated by the unseen hands of nature itself. Historical context: the first Americans thousands of years before the first European ships appeared on distant horizons, this land was already alive with people, stories, and civilizations. The first humans crossed from Asia into North America via the Bering Land Bridge, following the herds of mammoth, caribou, and bison. These early hunters, known to history as Paleo-Indians or the Clovis people, carried with them ingenuity, resilience, and the seeds of culture that would spread across a continent. They fashioned tools from stone, bone, and wood, each strike deliberate, each creation a reflection of both necessity and artistry. Their survival demanded awareness of every sound, every movement, every subtle change in the wind or the sky. Life, even in its most primitive form, was meditation. The land was teacher, and they were students. As centuries passed, civilizations rose. The ancestral Puebloans, or Anasazi, carved dwellings into the cliffs of the southwest, creating homes that merged seamlessly with the red rock landscapes. Multi-story structures, intricate pottery, and sacred kivas revealed a deep understanding of balance, community, and ritual. Corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters, were cultivated with care, irrigation channels planned meticulously, demonstrating not only agricultural skill but an intimate dialogue with the land itself. In the Mississippi Valley, mound-building cultures flourished. Cities like Cahokia boasted tens of thousands of inhabitants, their lives organized around the rhythms of the sun, the river, and the seasons. Monk's Mound rose like a testament to human endeavor, a place where the spiritual and temporal intertwined. Trade networks stretched across hundreds of miles, linking distant communities with copper, shells, obsidian, and ideas that traveled as fluidly as the rivers themselves. To the north, Arctic civilizations like the Inuit and Yupik adapted to some of the harshest climates on Earth. Homes of snow and skins, hunting techniques refined over generations, and deep knowledge of the frozen seas allowed life to thrive where survival demanded ingenuity, cooperation, and respect for nature. Across the vast plains, nomadic tribes followed the bison, their lives intricately woven into the cycles of migration and the balance of life. Lakota, Cheyenne, and Blackfoot peoples lived in harmony with their environment, conducting rituals and ceremonies that honored the spirit of the land, the animals, and each other. Every hunt, every dance, every prayer was imbued with significance, teaching mindfulness, respect, and the interconnection of all things. Zen perspective integration. As the observer continues to breathe with the morning, parallels between these ancient practices and Zen teachings become apparent. The silent observation of nature, the deliberate attention to every movement, the respect for life in all forms, these were not unlike the meditative practices taught in Zen monasteries centuries later. Mindfulness, presence, and awareness of impermanence were not confined to Asia. They had existed, lived, and breathed across this continent long before Western maps named these lands. In the stillness of dawn, one can almost hear the whispers of ancestors. The wind carries lessons, patience, humility, acceptance. The flowing river speaks of impermanence, reminding that all life moves forward, never pausing for fear or expectation. Every bird call, every rustle of leaves, every rising sun, it is Zen. It is meditation. It is the perfect lesson in listening without judgment, seeing without distortion, and being without pretense. Internal reflection. The observer finds a stone by the riverbank, cool and steady under fingers. Sitting upon it, the mind softens further. Memories, hopes, and fears drift past like clouds in the sky, acknowledged, observed, released. There is nothing to hold, nothing to grasp. Just presence, awareness, and the quiet joy of being alive. This is enough, the inner voice whispers. To exist. To witness. To honor the earth, the spirit, and the silence. Every breath, every heartbeat, every subtle movement is a dialogue between self and the world. There is a profound awareness that life's complexity is contained within its simplest moments: dew on a leaf, sunlight spilling across the ground, the warmth of breath mingling with the wind. Closing of part 1. As the sun rises fully, painting the landscape with light and shadow, the observer stands. Body aligned with earth, eyes open, heart steady. The quiet of the early morning has transformed into the beginning of presence, an invitation to move forward with intention, mindfulness, and deep respect for the rhythms of life. Earth, spirit, silence, these are not abstract concepts. They are lived realities. In observing, reflecting, and breathing with them, one begins to understand the ancient wisdom carried by the first peoples of this land, and the subtle, enduring teachings of Zen that guide the mind toward peace and insight. The day unfolds, yet the calm before the sunrise remains, echoing within the heart, a reminder that mindfulness is not confined to moments of meditation, it is the rhythm of life itself.